John Caudwell, do you think people working from home can be more productive?
Well, yes, I think that they can be more productive. Is the average person going to be more productive? No, I think absolutely not. I think there's too many distractions in most people's home places, but also people do go to work, let's not forget, for the camaraderie and for the socialism of it, and for the sparking off each other and creating a dynamic environment which people prosper in and become more productive. So I'm not saying that people cannot be more productive, but I think on average, people will be less productive.
Right. Well, it's fascinating that you make that point, because the Daily Telegraph have got a lead story in their paper tomorrow. I'm sorry that you can't see it zooming in as you are, but the viewers can see the headline: "Go back to work or risk losing your job." They talk about the Prime Minister launching a campaign next week to extol the virtues of returning to the workplace, making the emotional case for mixing with colleagues and highlighting the benefits to their mental health, much as you just have, John. I mean, listen, you're a businessman. Presumably you can see that for a lot of businesses, there's a common interest here, isn't there, in reducing the amount of office space needed, going to part-time arrangements, coming in 2 days a week, or perhaps, to take Susan's example, having locally based team working. Is there any point in the government really fighting against this, if this is just something that businesses and their employees mutually find to be a good solution?
I don't think this is a government issue at all. The government is there to advise on whether they feel it now appropriate and safe for people to travel to work. It's then up to each individual employer to decide on each individual employee as to whether their services are better and more efficiently used within the office environment or within the home environment. And I would actively encourage home working if that's the most appropriate solution. But I think in the majority of cases, it's probably not. And it would be good to get the offices back to a dynamic, really lively environment where creativity fires off everybody. You know, I've built all my businesses in the past in that sort of environment, and people spark off each other. When you're working in a home environment, you lose a lot of that spark. But it does depend on the particular job that you're doing. So there's no firm answer to this, except that government are not responsible. The people that are responsible are the employers to make sensible decisions with each individual employee. But you know, there's a much bigger issue here. We are debating this particular issue of home working versus office working, but the much bigger issue is that we are facing the biggest depression and recession of our lifetimes, and the government need to do something pretty spectacular to avoid the absolute devastation that will occur if they don't do something. And I've already consistently advised the government what needs to be done, and I've called it the Caudwell pandemic recovery, which is investing huge sums of money into the economy, not giving it to people, investing it in creating jobs, creating inward investment, apprenticeship schemes, and all the infrastructural growth that we need to keep Britain at the forefront of industrial success.
John, before I pass this to Tony Wilton, are you working in an office at the moment?
Well, I'm actually in Sardinia on holiday at the moment, so I am working in my office, yes, because I've got an office on the boat. But I do work when I'm back at home. I do work in an office every single day, yes.